Okay, so we're seeing an error because we need to do this. Well, that's new. We will discuss about it, but for now, understand that there can be a property that only has setter but not getter. And to prove that, let's do this. I think we have done it for version 2. Yes. So we can do this. So string, we can do this, but we cannot do this because we don't have a getter. So literally, you should think it as having methods here. Now let's talk about this expanded version. So let's define a property. So that's a new syntax, right? So let's talk about it, but before that, let's remove this errors. So we have USB type, USB, so that doesn't matter. So what is it? Well, literally this is the method body. This is literally the method body. If we compare it with the standard method, the only thing that changes is this get, right? So for properties, we can have expanded version where we can, for the getter and setter, we can do a lot of stuff inside the getter and setter body. Most of the time, what happens is in the setter we put our validation logic, but let's make it appropriate first. So the idea here is this actually acts as the method. This is actually the shortened version of it. What it does is following. It creates a private member under the hood that we don't need to deal with. Compiler does it for us. Literally, there is a method when this happens. There is a private data member created under the hood named underscore USB type. So this is what I will demonstrate here. So the idea is this value will be set by the setter and will be retrieved by the getter. So what we can do is, let's say we are trying to set it. So length is equal to what property setters provide is a particular keyword named value. This is what C# provides. This value variable, which is not defined here, right, is managed by C# and C# compiler, and essentially the value that has been set, that the consumer is attempting to set, will be inside this value variable. You can think it as a variable, and this value can be assigned here. So for example, we can have a validation here that value must not be null, right? So if it's null, it's an invalid value. Then on the getter, what we want is to return the value of length. So because this kind of, if we don't have this validation, it's a repetitive code. Essentially, you need to provide the get and set in the and the pattern is same. That's why C# provides us this shorthand where it creates that code under the hood on its own. But know that there is a data member there that will be created by compiler. So this is what happens. Now let's try to use that. If we have use and length, now if we provide a string, what will happen is it will invoke this setter, and because we have a validation, let's set null. Let's do this. Now if we try to set null, essentially null will not be set. 78 will prevail because of this validation logic. And to get this, as usual, we just use this one. So let's try this one. we the value of 75 prevails because the setting we have a validation in the setter logic, and the get returns the underlying object's value. So if we need to provide any kind of logic for a particular setter or maybe getter, we need to do some operation in getter, which can happen in many cases. So then we need to expand those getters and setters. Now there is another thing we need to discuss in context of this property and read only keyword. So let's define a class. Let's name it tablet. So let's say we provide a constructor. Let's say we say name. So we have a property public string name. Now carefully see the syntax here. What is happening here is this is just a getter, right? We have seen this here. I think we have seen this here, right? So what under the hood, let's forget about the constructor for now. What under the hood it does is it creates, as you can guess, a data member called name, and the getter will expand and will essentially return the value of underscore name, right? So but what's the point of it if we cannot set the value? So what you can do is essentially under the hood it doesn't only create a member here. What it does is this: it creates a read-only member. This is literally what is created, and this is just a shorthand for this. So this is